Welcome to the 2-minute warning, where sports fans sound off.
I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind. I'm trying to blow your mind. I'm talking literally blow your mind.
What is up, fight fans? We are back with yet another installment of the 2-Minute Warning, Pride Rules MMA podcast. Bringing the knowledge, we got myself, the straw that stirs the drink. Carl, what's good, guys? Omar from Pleasant Mounds, New York. What's good, Omar?
How's it going? And I just want to let the folks know that if they hit the SAP button, I will be simulcasting in Spanish for that demographic. So we're good.
So Pride, I love it. Absolutely. Expanding the brand. That's what we do here. That's what we do.
Yes.
And I believe Virginia again. From Virginia again. Tommy, what's going on? Tommy had his liquid lunch and liquid dinner, so he's raring to go today. What's good?
What do you hear? What do you say, everybody? Let's get this going crazy. I'm ready to blow your mind. I mean, literally blow your mind.
Ooh. He's wild about the intro song, Chris. And on the other side of the studio we got going on. Chris, what's good?
How you guys doing? Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback in the world.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron freaking Rodgers. Well, we're back. Another installment as usual. The beginning of the show is when I like to do this, but I'm getting it down, so I'm going to be as quick as possible. If you haven't already joined the 2-Minute Warning group on Facebook, do yourselves a favor and search 2-Minute Warning and join the group. It's a good group. Everybody loves it. We have a good time. I use it for a lot of my sports information, to be honest with you, because I don't really look too hard. I just scroll on Facebook. 2-Minute Warning always has that shit. They're right up to date with it, so you have to sift through some trolling and some nonsense, but, for the most part, it's pretty good. As usual, make sure you follow us on social media. Facebook, just search 2-Minute Warning Pride Rules, 2MW Pride Rules. You'll find us, facebook.com/2MW Pride Rules. Instagram, it's at Pride_Rules 2MW. On Twitter, at Pride Rules_MMA. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pride Rules. So now that we got that nonsense out of the way,
hey! Don't forget about Stitcher and Google Play, man.
Okay, well, why don't you explain that? Because I haven't really grabbed it. Tommy, explain to the fans and the listeners out there the change that we've made recently. And Omar, you can chime in anytime you want.
Well, it's pretty simple. If you're on a PC, you can go to Stitcher.com and just type in Pride Rules Podcast. Same thing with Google Play. Or you can download the app, and you just do the same thing.
Which I like.
So
I'm going to have to add that into our little open. Basically what happened is, if you guys have been following on Bouncing Ball with our show for the past few weeks, we've been having some technical difficulties with the server that we use, the website that we use to produce our show. So, we're trying to produce a ever-improving and, better product than we've been. So we're trying to make a little bit of changes. I think this is going to work. We're going to make it stick for a little bit. So, expect better things on the horizon for the Pride Rules podcast here. But thank you for reminding me. And Omar and Tommy have kind of led the charge with that. They've really, been out there, the tip of the spear with these changes. Omar really knows his stuff. Tommy basically just holding Omar's belt buckle like a guy in jail.
Not at all. It's the two of us. It's the two of us right behind Tim Kennedy in that tip of the spear. All right, he's leading the charge. We're just behind that wall of muscle.
Oh man! But before we get into the whole Tim Kennedy nonsense and all this stuff that we have to report this week, did you guys see? I'm not sure if you remember this guy, Brett Rogers, the Grim. His nickname was. He's a Strikeforce guy.
Yeah, I was making fun of him a couple weeks ago.
He was charged with sexual misconduct, interfering with someone's privacy. Basically what happened is he asked the man if he wanted to have sex in a bathroom stall in a St. Paul mall, I think, in Minneapolis.
No.
Right. And the guy says no, so he grabbed his ass and left, right? Before that, he was in an elevator at a library with this guy. Same thing. He, groped the dude. I'm not exactly sure where he groped on his body, but he groped him. The guy pushed his hands away, and then Brett Rogers, who's, 6'4", 270, basically just ran out of the elevator. So he could have had his way with the guy, but, he decided to run. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I mean, this guy is basically he was released from his contract in 2011 for beating his wife. When he was locked up for one of these issues that he had here, he apparently broke his.
That's why he probably
he was
apparently
suppressing some shit, beating up his for no reason because.
Dude, and not even that. There was another story about when he was in jail. His cellmate woke up to him fondling him in the cell. Like the guy didn't report it. The guy didn't report it to the guard or anything because he was scared of Rogers. So when they asked, he was like, "No, that happened. The dude was the biggest, toughest dude in the jail. I wasn't going to report it because then he was going to kick my ass." So like this seems to be a problem for this guy. He's
fucking tiddlywinks in the fucking jail cell.
Not just kick your ass though, bro.
Think about that, bro.
Well, I guess he didn't handle the rejection well. You know, he didn't handle the rejection well because he wasn't really that great of a fighter. You know what I mean? He was
Rest in peace, George Michael. That's all I gotta say. It wasn't that George Michael's move. What the hell is going on? Rogers.
Yo, honestly though, like when you get in trouble 4 times for allegedly groping or assaulting someone sexually, that's an issue, man.
No longer
you got to
alleged.
get help with that. Like
it's no longer
right.
alleged.
There's no allegedly doing anything. You are guilty, and you need to be locked up for that. Like you got to do time and try to learn the better way to be in society because you are not helping the human race out by being free. Right? No means no, dude. Like get that through your head. So I really just wanted to touch on that first.
I guess he thought winning the Strikeforce Grand Prix tournament that the men and women would be all over him. You know what I mean?
Apparently the man's bisexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it seems to be like it's happened 3 times with men, and 1 time he like beat his wife. So that's not even like groping her. That's more like I'm gonna beat this woman and grab at this guy's junk, and imagine being in the stall. Imagine being at a urinal. Some 6'4", 280-pound heavyweight dude comes over, asks you to want to have sex in the bathroom. You say no. He like sexually grabs your ass tight. Like, what are you gonna do, dude? That's a fucking weird situation to be in.
Roll for a knee bar.
A little spooked.
Roll for a knee bar immediately. I'm pulling a Gary Thomas.
Or squeeze his balls until they explode.
That's what I say.
Well,
squeeze the balls, man.
Good. Oh,
he might like it.
He already has them out.
Okay.
He already has them out.
Right.
Like it's at the start. He's like, hey guys.
Hey, speaking of the hard C and balls, did anybody catch that video with Chael Sonnen and Tito Ortiz?
Good Lord.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna try to put it on the Instagram page, but definitely we'll get into that.
Wow, did Chael take a swing? Like that was wow. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Tito and Chael were at the press conference for the fight this weekend, and of course, Tito goes on his semi-professional wrestler promo, saying that Chael's mouth has gotten him all his big fights. So Chael's response was, he keeps saying that my mouth has gotten me jobs, but the only one whose mouth has gotten them jobs is Tito's ex-wife. Talking about porn star.
Janet Jameson.
It was just so perfect.
I don't like that. It is perfect. That's disrespectful to an innocent woman. I don't like that. But that's Chael, and he's going to self-fight. Yeah, I hear you. She's not exactly a perfect human being, but whatever. All right. So with all that said, I would like to now move into the main part of our show where we actually inform people on MMA stuff.
Perfect human being.
Yeah, she was pretty close, but in any event. All right, so basically what we had happen was the fuck's going on here? All right, there's 2 stories that I really wanted to touch on first. I guess we could. What? Come on, man. If you're going to jump in with some comments, at least make us hear you. I mean, halfway through the sentence, your phone's cut out. Well, anyway, again, half a sentence cut out. Well, Tim Kennedy retired. 18-6 MMA record, 3-2 UFC. Most notable for his out-of-the-cage military involvement, of course. In the UFC, I would say he's most noted for the whole Yoel Romero controversy. But in any event, he did bring something to the sport. Fans kind of gravitate towards MMA fighters who served in the military. I know Dana White and the UFC has a big they do a lot of work with the UFC, the military and stuff. So seeing a guy like him go is definitely sad. He wasn't anything spectacular. The whole Yoel Romero thing where he was soaking wet and he was pissed off about that and went out for a while. Supposed to fight Rashad, and Rashad had that issue with his heart or whatever at 202, I believe, or 205. So, there's really not too much to talk about in terms of his MMA career, but, I know you guys are going to echo
he got dominated
in
in his last fight by Kelvin
Gastelum, right. Kelvin Gastelum kind of beat the piss out of him, and it's like, it is what it is. Guys like him will never have a problem finding a job or finding work or anything like that. So I'm not sad.
He's already doing that show, Chasing Hitler or whatever on History Channel, I think.
Is he so?
Exactly.
You talk about his, the spotty MMA career. It was only spotty because he didn't really get the opportunities to consistently train because he just kept going back overseas. You know what I mean?
Nobody could knock it.
He's a warrior.
There's reasons behind things, but there's the facts of the situation. That's the reason. But he's also he did have a spotty MMA career.
That's his choice. Yeah, it's his choice to make.
I respect the hell out.
I appreciate him serving our country and all that nonsense, but it's not nonsense.
The fact remains he wasn't all that great of an MMA fighter. He was great. I shouldn't say all that great. He was in the top 10 in the world in his weight for a pretty decent amount of time.
Yeah,
he really didn't get started later in life because of the service. So I don't think he reached his full potential for sure.
No, definitely not.
I don't think he's going to be fully retired either. I say we see him in Bellator in about a year or two. That's what I think.
So what, you think he's still going to?
Is he a free agent? I don't know. I don't think that you could just see him in Bellator just like that. I mean, Dana White would
when you retire, if he's out for a couple years, I don't think Dana White will have a problem with it.
Yeah, you have to. I think you have to sit out a year for football, so I don't know what the rule is in
this is not football. This is Dana White. Dana White gets forever.
Well, those
otherwise,
contracts are
be able to fight for wherever he wanted. You know what I mean? GSP's been retired.
There's no way that he's going to get out of anything. I mean, the only thing he's going to be doing is probably
you owe him
in the
4
face.
fights. It's like a certain amount of fights. If you don't fight them, then you don't get out of your contract until you fight them.
Keeps extending. The contract just keeps extending. That's pretty much how it goes. Adding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, regardless, we're gonna have to see what happens with this. I'm pretty sure that guys like him, they got a good head on their shoulders. He's probably retiring from the sport, and that's what it is. I mean, he might eventually do other competitions down the line, but
he can be on the next Abu Dhabi card.
I mean, these Joe Simon's pro grappling tournaments or whatever the hell they're called. You'll see him
exactly.
Yeah,
you'll see him in other things, but on to other news though. Dude, guys, BJ Penn, huh? Getting the shit done. I understand Yair Rodriguez is a beast. That dude is a bad man, and we'll get into him in a second. But BJ Penn, man, talk about not going out on your shield. First of all, looking emaciated as hell.
BJ
looking
you got
no fucking chest muscle.
Old person from the Great Adventure commercial.
And it's funny that you say that, old person, Chris. I know me and you were talking about it while we were watching a fight. We're like, this guy looks like a senior citizen out there. He looked like an old man in the octagon fighting Rodriguez.
They were showing BJ's greatest moments or whatever. One of these UFC Unleashed that they show on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Guess who the fuck he fought? And he just looked so young and in shape. It was crazy. You were seeing him with hair, and the old BJ back in the day when he was a fucking dominant champion. What happened with him, man? He just never trained hard. He never took it serious with the training. He just always considered it a fight, and that was his downfall, man. Looking back, BJ should still be good, he's not that old.
Well, the sport catches up with you. If you got something figured out and you're ahead of the game, it's only a matter of time before people start to train to beat you.
He's been around a long time, but he was so young when he started out that, he's still only 30.
He took it for granted. He took how good he was for granted, and he never really tried to improve on what he was.
He didn't fight for the UFC. He didn't just fight for the UFC. He kept going to Hawaii and fighting for Rumble on the Rock.
Yoel Romero is years older than BJ Penn.
That's crazy.
He's also got those stuff from young. He's got that tiger blood.
Yeah.
That keeps
steroid blood, you mean?
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah, you're talking about BJ, who the guy went up to 185 pounds to fight Lyoto Machida, for Christ's sake. You know,
I don't care. Yep. Honestly, about all that, I get it. I respect what he did in his career, but honestly, right now, at this BJ Penn that we're seeing, it's not doing him anything. You know, I mean, he made $150,000 for this fight, so I guess
he's good, man. He don't need money. He's good. He's got a lot of stars.
No, he's never needed money.
But
he's got a lot of business. He's a fucking hero in Hawaii.
$150,000. He's got a terrible blog out that posts like nonsense all the time, so I guess he should stick to that shit. But it's never a bad thing to earn $150,000.
If PJPenn.com is
right.
The worst clickbait, baby.
Well, that's his.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's happening with your phone, Chris. You're cutting in and out a little bit. If you're on speaker, get it off speaker because for some reason it's picking up background noise and every sentence you speak is cutting out. It seems to me. I don't know. It could just be me, but
is this better?
Yes.
Better.
And I'm only saying that because I don't want you to have a shitty. I want you to be pissed off.
Right. I say it all the time. If I hear something, say it. I don't want to sound like an asshole.
Right. I'm a flip side of the BJ Penn thing. Yair Rodriguez, this dude's the truth, guys. I mean, he's got the featherweight division on notice.
Right.
He brings like a certain Wonder Boy approach.
Yeah, it was Santino's revenge. It was literally, it was just like, you know what? You guys took Texas from us. Forget you, BJ. I'm gonna take this out on all of y'all. This is we're making America Mexico again, and he just could do something. It was terrible.
No, but seriously though, he does have like it's like a Wonder Boy style with like his kicks and shit.
A long time. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, ever since let that Simon Woodley. What he thinks about. But
you got to give BJ a ton of credit because he wanted to keep fighting. He didn't want that fight stopped.
Yeah, I understand that, but if he would have been. He was getting embarrassed.
Trying to stand up after that, and he couldn't. It was bad.
It's like giving Ronda Rousey credit for not falling for Amanda Nunes' onslaught. It's the same shit, bro. I get it. I respect him for that, but I think basically, but say, hey, she didn't fall. I got to give her that. I'll give her credit for not going down, but BJ Penn in there, it was bad.
Yeah, that's all that kept her standing with Armenian witchcraft. There's nothing else.
Yeah, BJ wanted to fight minutes later. When he tried to stand up, he couldn't.
Right.
Straight disrespect.
Right. BJ was getting hurt in there. No, but dude, first of all, it's only talking about what happened in the octagon presently. Like back in the day, he still is a legend in the sport. What he brings to the sport is way more than what happened in the octagon this weekend. I'm reporting on basically what I saw. I don't think he's got anything left, and I think he should hang it up before he embarrasses himself worse because, I know Rodriguez is a beast, but he ain't like a beast of the beast. He ain't BJ Penn in his prime. So if he ever fights anybody like that, it would be over in under a minute. That's what I'm saying. Like he got tarred by Yair Rodriguez.
His last 11 fights. It's like fucking crazy. He's lost so many fights his last 10. It's nuts.
Right. And it's not like a disrespect. I don't want to come.
Just like Nick Diaz.
Exactly. The only difference is Nick Diaz is a little younger and he still has something left in his tank, as opposed to BJ Penn, who's getting to that point where I'm reporting on what I look at, and I don't see anything, no explosiveness, nothing. Are you making fun of me? Let's come over there and kick your fucking ass. But am I far off in this?
Like Nick Diaz.
He looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid that just can't get punches off. I hate to say
it. That's funny as hell, dude.
I hate to say it.
That is actually pretty damn good, dude.
I love.
He looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid. What? What did you say? Because I gotta write this down.
He looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid that can't get punches off anymore. He's walking around
Holy shit.
What do I do? And he was a beast. He was amazing. He was one of the great. I think he's on my top 5 or at least top 10 of all time. When he beat Matt Hughes, I remember this vividly. I told my friend who I was trying to introduce to MMA, I'm like, watch this fight. And I go, oh man, I'll eat my hat if BJ wins because he was moving up. Matt Hughes was indestructible at the time. Remember that, guys? Like Matt Hughes was beating everybody.
Oh, dude.
And he was moving up.
Strong as hell.
He was moving up.
Yep.
No way. And then what do you do?
Yep.
And that.
Oh, he torched and he starched his ass too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'll never forget that fight. So yeah, but now he's done. It's over. Stop it. Call it a day.
Yeah,
whoever the hell is telling you that, you still have it. All right, even if it's a mirror, break
top
that mirror.
10 all-time pound for pound.
If it's a mirror, break that mirror. Oh my God!
You're telling me you can't fight. I don't give a shit.
It's tough to put BJ top 10 all time, but I mean, like when you're talking like this, it's like apples for
maybe
oranges.
top
He's
10.
a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough.
I could see it top 10.
It's tough to say that, but then when you actually start there and you're like, all right, well then what is your top 10? Name them, and then it's hard to name 10 guys before you name BJ Penn.
Dylan, and BJ Penn. Like that, and then whoever else.
I spit hot fire. Yo, that's 100% Cambodian, yo. Oh, that Dave Chappelle skit is one of the best of all time.
Yeah, but wasn't BJ one of the first to hold or to win 2 belts in 2 different divisions in the UFC?
Yeah. But
yes.
Look, that's all well and good, but I'm talking.
Well,
you're trying to dismiss what Conor did. Conor did it simultaneously, man. Conor had 2 belts at the same time.
Time out. Look at this. Look. He's ready to cry already.
What?
Who's dismissing Conor? Did anybody dismiss
No,
Conor?
that's what you said the other day, dude.
Hello?
I read your comment the other day, and you were like, "This is what bothers me about Conor fans." Where you were like,
yeah, because these new Conor fans think that he's the only one to ever do it.
Nobody knows who's. I don't understand what these new, who's these new fans? Like, why is the Conor fans automatically assumed to be new MMA fans?
Time out. Are you a new MMA fan? No, right? So then it's not including you. So move on.
Yeah, but my point is like, why is it assumed that if you're a Conor fan, you're a new fan?
Because if you read comments that people put when Conor
it could be
won
a person
the 2
that's
belts,
watched MMA for years, and he could still sound like a dumb idiot. If he's just a stupid person.
So when somebody say Conor McGregor, the only one in the UFC to win 2 belts, that's somebody who's been watching it for years? Because those were a lot of the comments I saw.
All right, we're singling out one fucking person, and that's so stupid to even care. Like, this has no relevance to anything. How are we talking about Conor McGregor? BJ Penn, he's a legend in the sport. He's a legend. Randy Couture's also a legend in the sport. I'm not taking anything away from the old BJ Penn. I just think at this point right now, he really should reconsider what he's doing and, stick to the post-fighting career and open gyms and shit. Do things for the younger generation, the next generation of people. Maybe you take another fight to see if you can come back from this win, but a loss might be more detrimental.
No more fighting.
No. That's my point. No, I agree. I'm just saying,
I think he's going to fight again. He shouldn't, but
grappling competitions. He should do Eddie Bravo.
Commit somebody. Go do some dumb shit. Don't fucking go get punched in the head no more. You're getting the shit.
Some dumb stuff?
I've been cringing watching BJ get hit for a good 4 hours of octagon action, octagon time at this point. The Rory fight was bad. You know what I mean? The Diaz fight was bad.
Frankie Edgar fight.
All the Edgar fights were bad. It was like, come on, man. How many times did we watch this guy get punched in the face?
This past one, Edgar actually finished him. He was the first person to ever finish BJ at that point. Because he was elbowing the living shit out of him.
I know, Diaz.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, well.
I still think he's going to fight again just because he doesn't want to go out like that. I just wish it wouldn't be in the UFC. Go to World Series of Fighting, or if you want to do combat, go do the combat jiu-jitsu and EBI. That would
be whatever, something like that. And I wouldn't even consider that. Might as well just not even do nothing. What's up, Pete? How you doing?
The only thing BJ Penn should be competing in is bingo night at the local VFW, son.
Oh no! How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, I agree. BJ shouldn't be fighting no more.
Yo,
but
35 going on 72. BJ Penn.
Yeah, he is. He's looking rough. Looking like he's stuck in one of those volcanoes in Hawaii.
He's the last of a dying breed, and it's hard for him to let go. I mean, think about who's left from his
dead breed.
He's like dead.
He's a part of a dead breed.
He's a Civil War veteran trying to fight somebody with an automatic weapon. All right, that's not going to end well. It's just not. He doesn't have
he's loading his bayonet and musket.
He really is.
Shot bayonet.
He's like, hold on, let me shoot my musket. Give me 20 seconds. Give me 20 seconds to reload my musket. I got you, Yair. Stop moving, you shifty Mexican. That's really all that happened in this fight. Good Lord.
So Yair put like the final nail in BJ Penn's coffin, and now everybody's saying, "I want to see Rodriguez versus McGregor." Right? Like, come on.
I don't even want to talk about that right now. I never heard Rodriguez McGregor. I don't know why. That's why.
Like every time somebody wins in the octagon. Every time somebody wins in the octagon, they want to see them fight McGregor. And Cody Garbrandt versus McGregor. McGregor would murder Cody Garbrandt.
I've never seen Yair Rodriguez McGregor.
I want that in Mexico City.
No,
I want to see it in Mexico City.
One at a time.
I've never heard anybody with any real credibility say that.
Yeah,
that's just a jerk off like you.
And a computer saying that.
Right.
So let me ask you guys. Let me ask you guys something. Where does Yair Rodriguez go from here? I mean, obviously he's fighting somebody above him, but what would you guys like to see?
I've heard Cub Swanson, but I've heard Cub Swanson fight talk, but I think he should fight Doo Ho Choi.
I wouldn't be shocked if he fights either of them. I mean, it's going to be someone like that because it's going to be Lamas, Swanson, Choi. I could even see him fighting Edgar, maybe. Who knows? Obviously, it's really who wants the next fight and who fights next in that division.
Does the Korean Zombie have
a dance partner? Honestly, he's a little above Zeman.
He's coming back, isn't he? Isn't he actually? Is that the same weight class? Is that the same weight class, or am I mistaken?
Is he 140?
Honestly, I gotta look that up.
Yeah,
he's
because if that's the case, how great of a fight would that be? Wouldn't it be?
Well, I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this guy because I swear, I'm telling you right now, like, I see a lot. I'm sure you guys as well can agree with me, but I see a lot of skill with this guy. Like, he might be able to give Max Holloway a good fight. All right.
This
guy's
my
a badass motherfucker.
You're getting ahead of yourself, I think, because you're watching him go against a fucking shell of a person. Anybody.
No, I said maybe. I understand, but I think that his striking is very dynamic. I don't know about his ground game as much, so maybe against a sole ground guy, he might get
the younger guy
drowned. But
keep up with his speed is going to be a different story. He's not the he's good, but he ain't the man yet. Let's not get ahead of him.
But he's a good fighter, dude. He won the Ultimate Fighter. He's he's doing what he has to do against guys like BJ Penn. I mean, you go against BJ Penn, who you're supposed to paste against the friggin' mat, and you have a tough bout against him. That's bad. That's detrimental to your improvement and your growth.
He fucked him up. I give you that, but he should have fucked him up. He was a heavy favorite.
I know, and he did, and he fucked him up bad too. So it's like when the Raiders or the Packers play the 49ers, you're supposed to beat the shit out of them, but that's why when it happens, it's like, okay, at least they did beat their ass.
But I'm telling you that
saying.
He's not going to beat Max Holloway or give him a good fight even because he did that against BJ Penn.
I said he might be able to give Max a good fight. I don't think he beat Max either, but at this point right now, he's going to compete with him in terms of like the fight. So
I think he gets his ass whooped by Max Holloway right now.
Well, I mean, I agree. He loses to Max.
A little Hawaiian Vengeance. Couldn't they play that? They could do the Hawaiian Vengeance angle. Be like, you beat up my grand.
Yeah, they could play that
angle. Right. Number 10, dude. He's not even ranked that high.
I'm gonna beat you like Kamehameha. Beat the whiteys.
What's he gonna do?
Try to take over Ireland.
Hey, Tommy, how do you feel about Weidman getting Mousasi for UFC 210?
I like that fight. Mousasi wanted it. Weidman told him he would give him the fight on Twitter. He said he's happy that he's speaking up finally. So I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, it's just these two are bound to fight at one point or another anyway. So you might as well get it out of the way.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what though.
Set up now.
I'll tell you what. Weidman's a tough guy. Mousasi's tough too. This should be a really good fight, man. Mousasi's got that other guy that's kind of on the come up.
He's tricky, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And Weidman brings that power, and I honestly think that, it wasn't like necessarily a timing thing because, you watch the Romero fight, he actually feinted that move a couple times in the fight, so he kind of anticipated.
No, he set that up.
Weidman.
Sure.
That's what I mean. But I kind of think Weidman got caught, and if he didn't get caught there, he probably would have given him a little more competition because, let's be honest, the dude can obviously fight. He beat Anderson Silva. He definitely has what it takes. He's been a champion, so. It's just going to be a tough fight.
Weidman's a good fighter. We know. That's not
I know.
What I want to see, I just want to see Mousasi actually show interest while he's fighting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mousasi's so relaxed in there that it makes it look like he makes it look like he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Exactly, right, Chris?
It's the Robinson Cano effect, bro.
You know what? I could be golfing right now. Like, I could be.
I said this to Chris about Aaron Rodgers. It's the Robinson Cano effect. These guys are so good, they make it look so easy that it almost looks like they're not trying as hard. So if they make a mistake, everyone's like, "Oh, you need to fucking apply yourself and be better." Dude, I'm already at the level that I need to be at. I got snuck, I got caught. It's whatever. And, these guys. Some people just get it, and they're fluid with their motions and everything, and it just looks different on TV.
Some people need to be relaxed and do it that way. It's just how people are, and he doesn't burn any unuseful, any unnecessary energy. He keeps it all
like hopping around, getting all hyped. And Conor said that about the first Nate Diaz fight. Conor said that about the first Nate Diaz fight. If you watch between rounds, he's like all over the place, watching the fucking crowd, watching the big screen, like talking shit to Nate the whole time. And in the second fight, he's real like stoic and calm. I think that means something. Like Chris says all the time, some guys don't want to like run out to the friggin' mat or the ring, and they don't want to hop around a lot. They stay very reserved and calm because they feel like that's going to help you with your energy dump if you like save it for that. And I think there's something to that.
I mean, anything that you do that takes energy is going to preserve energy if you don't do it. It's as simple.
Exactly. I think there's way more to it. Some people don't even consider it. Some people are all right. Right, basically. I mean, come on. If you burn calories, you're going to be tired soon. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see where Rodriguez goes. But, I know Pete did come in and basically say this, so I'll kind of go off that. This Cody Garbrandt hit list, guys, have you seen it?
Yeah.
He came out with a stupid hit list. Dillashaw, Aldo, and Conor in that order.
They're going to give this guy the belt, then one title defense, and then he's going to go get 3 belts. He's going to go after they're just going to give him title shots at every weight class.
It's very annoying that as soon as, like Pete said, as soon as someone wins, they go after Conor. Like, make the money for yourself. Learn how to be your own brand and shit talk so people want to fight you so you don't need anybody else to piggyback on. I honestly think Cody has something, a shtick to himself. Like, I get it. He's got, like, the tattoo look, he's not a bad-looking dude.
And dominate for a while, he'll be a star. He doesn't need to go get Conor.
Really will.
Right.
Well, you know what?
So I think he needs to focus on his own.
With the new season of The Ultimate Fighter, with him coaching on it with Dillashaw, he might not need to worry about piggybacking off Conor. He might make himself a reality TV star again. Like
that's what I said, I think the Dillashaw Garbrandt rivalry is. I said this before they even announced The Ultimate Fighter. I said you're going to see these guys fighting each other a bunch of times over the next couple of years. It's going to be a great rivalry, and then the next week they announced the fight. I mean the show. I think that they could piggyback off each other and both become superstars, a la, Dom, Uriah Faber with that rivalry. It could be a very similar, situation, if you ask me.
You know what's pissing me off about this Ultimate Fighter series? They're not announcing who the contestants are. Like, nobody can even talk about it. I don't understand why.
No, they don't. They never do, though. I don't think they ever do. The only reason we're saying that is because we think we know somebody who's on the show and we want to talk about that. Otherwise, it wouldn't even matter because, a lot of you guys said you didn't even like the show when they first started talking about it. But
I know for sure that person's going to be on because I was listening to Chael Sonnen's podcast a week ago. His co-host, Joel Supernaut, said the guy's name. Then I'm listening to another podcast today, and they just kept alluding to it, but didn't say his name. I don't understand why they can't name the
Who was it?
I just don't get it.
What was the name?
We can't really announce it, but my uncle drove an ice cream truck at one point, so I don't know. I really want to talk about it. I want to talk to him about it. I want to invite him on the show. Basically. Psych. So I don't know. I just think Cody's getting a little ahead of himself with this whole hitless thing. Stick to your division, dominate the people in your division, and you'll become your own star. You won't have to worry about having anybody else to piggyback off of. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but, I wouldn't even say he's trying to piggyback off of somebody if he wants to fight them necessarily. But everybody wants to fight the money fight, the guy you're going to get the most money from. But I just think that you got to relax and temper what you think they're going to give you, man. Like, you're not going to just get these title shots unless you're generating the hundreds of millions of dollars that Conor's generating. They make exceptions for him because they make a shit ton of money off of him. if they don't make, like, what does Conor have to gain by giving a title shot to a guy that is 2 weight classes lighter than him? It's like,
I think he was like
he's
thinking
talking about
more of a. I think Cody.
Right, he's talking about fighting 170.
Like a catchweight bout, though. I don't think Cody was talking about going up to 155, right?
What's that catchweight going to be? 150?
Why would he go want a catchweight? Like, fuck that. I would be going
right, he wants a belt.
Fight him.
Yeah. I don't know.
They can give an interim belt for a catchweight, right? They can give an interim.
There we go, Tommy.
The catchweight championship.
Yo, tell me that UFC. Tell me the UFC didn't screw up big time.
Anyway.
Yeah, of course.
I think Conor beats him easily.
I would sure as hell hope so.
I think he beats him easily.
20 fucking pounds.
You know who I hope is also on that hit list? I want Alan Belcher and Conor McGregor's tattooist to both be on that.
I don't hate Conor's tattoos. The tiger tattoo is really good. There's no outline, and the friggin' the chest piece
tattooed on his chest before the man died.
Yeah,
right?
but he only got that because of the SPG gym.
What would you guys think about if they did weight classes where it was like a range? Where, like, if they say, all right, welterweight bout is between 170 and 184, and it's like an agreed-upon weight between the two fighters that signed the bout agreement. You know what I mean? So then these guys wouldn't have to always cut down so much. I don't
think you could do it to that big of a range because everybody's going to come in at 184. You need to have it like 165 to 170.
It will be what's agreed upon between the two fighters.
I know what you're saying. But I don't think it should be that big of a range.
Middleweight is 171 to 180 to 185.
Bro, but my point is, it's a waste to do that much of a range because no one's going to come in that low. They're only going to come in closer to the heavier weight. So at that point, they're going to be coming in at 185. Yes, it's true.
Not true because some people will want to negotiate a lower weight because
what's really the point of doing that though?
Yeah, why would you want to do that at all?
Because everybody's talking about how weight cutting is bad and shit like that. I mean, it's not. It's just a thought. It's not really like. I
don't think it's a bad idea. I just think the range needs to be closer together. That's all. I just think it should be a 5-pound range.
I talked about they need more weight classes anyway. I think Joe Rogan said the same thing. It's just too much of a gap. I think anyway. There's too many guys that was.
I think that idea sucks. Yo, but did you guys hear that? Travis Brown left fucking Glendale Fight Club?
He gives a shit about Travis friggin' Ugly.
He's done with Edmund Tarverdyan and fucking.
How about this? What I want to know about is how bad the UFC fucked up by not having a Diaz brother fight at UFC 209. Like, come on, man.
Well, here you go. Now they're saying they offered Nick Woodley, Robbie Lawler. They offered him Conor McGregor. I heard on the Rogan podcast. Who does he want to fight? Who's he going to come back and fight? You don't want to fight none of them dudes?
This is the one time Pete actually said something factual. He's right.
Right? I don't think he offered him Conor, though, but whatever. Because Conor ain't coming back. He made that clear.
I've heard that they offered him Conor on a couple different outlets. I mean, but
there's no way.
Who the fuck is he going to come back and fight?
Are those my sources?
That's what I understand.
That wasn't. There's no way that he signed a bout agreement with Conor McGregor and he didn't sign it. No,
never in a million, billion, trillion years did he turn down a Conor fight. Never.
I'll send you guys the link.
I don't give a fuck what link you send me. I do not believe that Nick Diaz was sent a contract to fight Conor McGregor.
I think you're right about the other ones, but I don't think that one.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Stipe versus Diaz needs to happen.
Well, wasn't
Stipe complaining about his fight purse? Stipe was complaining about his fight purse recently, so make the fight with Diaz. I don't care. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I'll watch it now.
Speaking of complaining, you guys heard this freaking Tyron Woodley rant, this latest Tyron Woodley rant where he had the interview with Woodley or Thompson.
You mean Conspiracy Brother? That's his new
name. I'm so sick of this. He talks
never not wrong.
I tried to listen to it, but I couldn't hear it.
He wasn't never not wrong. The Conspiracy Brother.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
double negative. Basically, what he said was to the extent, somewhat to the extent of if he was Stephen Thompson and had the belt, he'd be getting way more recognition. No one's really reaching out to him for endorsements, and he thinks that, of course,
like champion.
Right,
No,
the race
not.
card is coming into play, and it's just nonsense. And then he turns around and
things going for him. He's a Fox analyst. He's got a lot of things going for him. I don't know why, he's talking like this.
He's a moron. He's an idiot. I said it the other week.
He was like John Jones. John Jones gets thrown under the bus. John Jones is a fucking idiot. Throws himself under the bus.
He's a drug addict, weirdo.
Is a boring fighter to watch. Nobody gives a shit about him.
But not for nothing. That's what I was gonna say. He is the best fighter, and he's black. When he fought, he had one logo on his shorts, Xbox. That was the biggest sponsor. No one had one logo on their shorts in the history of UFC. This guy was making enough money in that endorsement deal that he didn't have to seek out other sponsors. So in my eyes, that's
Nike on his shorts too.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying, he had big Xbox.
He's a boring ass fighter to watch fight. His weight class sucks. There's no competition. Demetrius Johnson. Nobody gives a shit about that weight class. And
I thought you were talking about John Jones.
Until something gets generated that's worth watching, nobody cares. Nobody's going to care. Nobody cares about, nobody gave a shit about the bantamweights when Renan Barao was the fucking champ, It's a competition thing. I think there's stiffer competition than they'd care.
This has absolutely nothing to do
with
race.
Color,
Demetrius Johnson. This has everything to do with people probably not wanting to deal with him because he's a fucking weirdo.
Because of his attitude, right? His personality. Yep, I agree. And he's digging himself a grave by talking like this because it's doing more detriment to him than positive by shedding light on the situation. Basically, you're putting yourself out there as somebody who's going to be so difficult to work with. Like, I'm not scared to say anything that's bad because I know that I'm not racist. I just think that no, I'm just saying he's stupid because he pulls the race card way too fucking much, man. It's bullshit. He's a fucking champion. Stop it.
All right, it's whatever.
I just don't see it.
No, I mean, I as a member of the Brown delegation, even I have to say that it's really. I mean, it's one of those things where he has a platform that could be so much more. I believe so much more useful if he was a little more measured in the approach. And other more radical folks would be like, you're telling him to be Bojangles, and we're not. We're just telling him to be more measured. That's it. Just when it's merited, go right out and say it for sure, and I'll be the guy on here backing you up.
There's times that it probably is warranted, and it's probably happened in his life, but it's not everybody. It's certainly not the UFC as a whole or the fans as a whole.
No.
It's ridiculous.
Don't you think the UFC would love having him as a champion? Would love having a Mexican champion? Would love having all these international
diversity
as well as American
champions? How they had Wonder Boy come out with the American flag, like I'm not from America too. He chose to come out with the flag. You could do the same fucking thing, bro. Nobody tells somebody to come out with a flag.
You're second. Plus, you're coming out second. So you know what? If you wanted to make a last-minute change, you could say, hey, wait a second. Let me get the American flag, the United Nations flag, and we have technical.
Exactly.
He chose to come out with an American flag. That's his choice.
Right. Jesus, right? Exactly.
Tito Ortiz used to come out with a Mexican flag and American flag on one thing. You know what I mean?
We didn't want him.
That doesn't matter.
All Hispanics didn't want him. We didn't want him. We wanted to give him back to you. We did. We wanted to trade him for somebody else.
He's just grasping at straws now. He's just grasping at straws. But when he calls into Matt Serra's podcast, he doesn't mention anything about race. He doesn't mention anything about being disrespected.
Matt Serra will tear him up.
Right
Matt Serra Exactly. Right? Matt will not put up with any sort of shenanigans.
He won't put up with that. Hell no, dude.
Well, no,
you're crazy.
Matt's very good friends with Dean Thomas, his coach, who, guess what, is black.
Hold on, wait a second.
Thank you.
Dean is not black. You stop. Wait a second. When is Dean? Come on now.
I thought his name was Din.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Dene Thomas. But like what? I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And also Dean Thomas is on Dana White looking for a fight with Dana and Matt. Yep, the UFC is racist as shit. Get the fuck out of here.
No. Dana White makes him dance every episode, Tommy. Dana White makes him dance every episode. It's really disgusting.
Some of the people that are
not for nothing, guys,
of all time in this sport, like Anderson Silva, John Jones, they're black.
Anderson Silva's Brazilian.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah, but he's
look at the top five. Count John Jones. Count John Jones now. whatever. That's wrong. David Ortiz is Dominican. He's not black.
Black. The fuck are you talking
Count
about?
the top 5. Look at the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters right now. Put John Jones in the argument, and 3 of the top 5 are African-American fighters. Like, come on, man. Look at the facts.
Don't forget about
no one's unfair.
Hello?
And, he's not a top 5.
Johnson.
He's not top 5 pound-for-pound, though, in my eyes. I'm just saying.
Oh,
but, yeah, guys like him, like this.
But he's one of the top in the division.
Right, there's savages all over the place. That's my point, right? You're kind of agreeing with me, and I understand. Like, I'm just saying, this guy needs to take a step back and look at what's going on. If you're not a good endorsement, that's your problem. That's a you problem, bro. You need to look inward at this point and be like, what can I do to get my image changed? Like, you have to bite the bullet and sacrifice 1 or 2 times and try to get on a billboard somewhere that's promoting a good product that'll help brand you with, maybe a white demographic or whatever. I'm just saying, like, that's how you do it, man. LeBron James built himself back up to a lot of people. Everyone hated his guts. He freaking bit the bullet and built himself back up to somebody who now is relevant in the world,
Carmelo Anthony
I just think he's
outspoken. He's an outspoken social justice guy, and he still gets endorsements. He still gets respect. Like, but he doesn't. You don't see him every 2 days coming out with being like, you know what, my butler said something. Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Calm
as
down.
soon as something comes out, you're just gonna run to the friggin' social media or whatever and try to make it a thing. I don't know. It just bothers the shit out of me, and I think he's going about the shit so wrong. It's just whatever. But
he's the Reverend Al Sharpton of the UFC. That's what he is.
He really is. He's
entitled to his opinion, but that's our opinion is that it's wrong, and we're entitled to ours as well.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
I agree.
We all
I'm not
tune
saying
in.
that you're not.
His opinion has no facts. There's no facts behind his opinion.
What is this? The fucking
UFC.
Yeah, honestly, did you guys look that shit up? Did you guys look that shit up where well, there's 2 things that I want to talk about here, but Daniel Cormier was interviewed, and he's like, dude, I need this John Jones fight so bad. I'll allow him to use his banned substances, his PEDs, whatever. I just need this fight so bad for my career, one way or the other. It's kind of like the Aldo McGregor thing where Aldo needs to fight McGregor to have his career completed. I think the same goes for Cormier with this whole John Jones thing. He's so upset about this fight.
Aldo needs to not fight McGregor. I think he needs to avoid it so he doesn't get another fucking bone-crushing L on his fucking record.
That's a big L.
We kind of spoke on this a couple weeks ago. It's like, even if he loses to McGregor, it's better off than him not fighting and ever, winning.
No, it's not.
I think I think that if he fights McGregor and it takes him 5 rounds and they go to a decision and I think that might speak better for his career in terms of what he already faced.
You really think that he's going to last 5 rounds with McGregor? He's going to get hit and fold like a fucking birthday card.
No, but I'm just saying, like, there's.
Go to McGregor Aldo.
Right, we've discussed this, but I don't want to I want to put a bow on it. But the whole John Jones Cormier thing, it's kind of the same concept. Like, Cormier needs this fight with Jones so bad, win or lose. It's just something that's, it's been a thing. They had that whole hype, like the whole fisticuffs in the, the weigh-ins or the pre-fight promo.
Anymore. That's what it is. He doesn't want to be called a paper champ anymore. That's what it is.
But stemming from that, they had a rule change in the MMA to where now if you're standing there, you can't put out your hand, an open hand in your fight. You know how people like kind of range themselves out by pawing? John Jones does it a lot, and he comes away with eye pokes. Like, you have to have your palm facing the opponent. Your fingers have to be pointing straight up. They can no longer be pointing towards your opponent, or else you're going to get, a warning, point deductions, and then right. But, Cormier, of course,
lead with a jab, like
joking.
Everybody else does. Paul
right, keep your hand closed. And if you decide to pull out there, you just make sure that you hit him with your friggin' palm and not your fingertips because,
the way I measure range.
There's some vicious folks.
There's ways to do it. Just do it the proper way, and then don't be a cheater and fucking poke eyes.
Yeah,
broom handle.
I mean, I don't know.
Broom handle that I shoot down, and I just kind of put it out there, see if I can get him in the eye. And if I hit him, I know then that I've just poked him in the eye with a stick, and I'm probably going to win. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. This guy's been cheating every fight for years. Good Lord.
Well, he has. He honestly has. And John Jones is, he's even said it. Kick a guy in the knee this way, you'll tear his ACL. hit a guy after the bell. Oh, well, whatever. Poke guy in the eye. Hey, what the hell are you going to do? You got to fight and get an edge somehow.
Hit a girl with a car and you
known.
might break her arm. He said that one too.
Hit a girl with a car, leave, and then run back
Make
to
sure
your pot
she's pregnant,
and coke.
Make sure she's pregnant.
Gotta be pregnant.
Wow. What is this, the White Pride Rules podcast tonight? Jesus Christ.
He's super pro-choice.
I love John Jones.
That's all I'm
I
saying.
love John
Super
Jones.
pro-choice.
I love John Jones.
So.
I love fucking Cormier. I love
John
Rumble Johnson. I even love Tyron Woodley. I just don't like how he talks.
I even have a black friend.
It's whatever. I have a black friend. That's the most racist thing a white guy can say.
You love his eggplant. That's all you love. We have tape of
Whoa.
his eggplant.
God.
The hard
Not
C.
the return. Not the return of the
hard C.
Good Lord.
God, right? We can go forever with that.
That's knuckle tape. Jeez, fucking worst nightmare right there.
So honestly, like, is that what happened when John Jones comes back? First fight they signed, Cormier Jones. Is that what you guys think? How do we feel about this?
I think Dana's afraid to do it.
Everybody at once.
Dana's afraid to do that. Honestly, Dana's afraid to make that fight because he's afraid.
I think Jones isn't going to get a fight right away like that. He's going to have to fight his way back.
Yeah, but Dana's afraid to make a headliner again. He said it.
Yeah,
of
course. That's what I said. He's going to have to fight his way back. He's going to have to appear on a couple cards before he becomes the main event. He'll be a co-main. I can guarantee you that. At the end there's always a loophole.
I say he needs to fight Ovin St. Preux again and just dust him in the first couple of rounds and not go 5 rounds.
Why give Ovin St. Preux that fight? It's not, he didn't.
Because John Jones needs to finish him the way he finished everybody else. He should not have gone
other guys
5 rounds.
Yeah, but he might not. St. Preux might catch him, and then what happens? At that point, it's like, fuck.
Well,
I'd rather see other
fighters
fight him anyway. There's other guys out there, man, that deserve shots.
Omar, you want to weigh in on this?
I think he needs to come in, and they need to do it like they used to do in the K1, where they had an alternate, like, ready to go, night of, just in case. And then
you're on call.
100%, and then you come in and you can win it all.
Can you imagine?
Win it all.
Stipulation. We gotta have a fucking guy on call.
So who's that prospect?
Right.
He's a light heavyweight. I think he's like a Russian dude that's supposed to be really fucking good. Up and coming.
I don't know. I never heard of it. Look it up real quick and tell us, because I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not positive.
Pete, what do you think?
Speaking of Russian dudes, what about that Ezekiel choke this past weekend, huh?
Oh my God!
Lord.
Bottom mount.
Oh my God!
Wasn't even nice.
How about this? How about this? I didn't even know he won the fight when I was watching, because I was watching without sound at first. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit! And I checked off the box for everybody else who didn't have the guy, and I'm looking, I'm like, did he fucking choke that guy from the bottom? And then I looked and saw his arm like wrapped a certain way. I was like, oh my good God, that's a slick ass choke.
No-gi Ezekiel from bottom mount. That's one of the wildest things I think I've ever seen in an MMA.
That guy's got balls big enough to fill a dump truck to let a heavyweight go full mount
you.
And he baited him in on that. He lulled him in.
Well, he had what? 62 professional fights at the time. He was 50-10 this guy. So
you hear that stat? That was his 10th Ezekiel choke in competition in professional fights.
That's wild, yo.
That's
honestly wild. And
his 10th.
For anybody who doesn't know what an Ezekiel choke is, you're basically on your back. And you kind of like have your arms folded in front of you, but the guy's neck is in the middle.
You could get a highlight.
No, it's a rear naked choke from the front with no gi.
From the front.
That's all it is.
Yeah, from the front.
It's a rear naked choke from the front.
You can be on top. You can be on bottom. You can technically, on the side it might be called more of a paper cutter, but like it's basically a rear naked choke.
Yeah, that
grip.
position has nothing to do with the choke itself.
You're of course on the bottom, obviously you could rear naked choke from the bottom the regular way also. But the fact that the guy mounts you, he's basically on top of you, facing you, and you choke him out like that.
That was the only way for that choke to work in that.
Savage.
Yeah, hitting you in the head.
He's a slick guy.
Mind you.
And that's the thing, like, all right, Joe Rogan, guys like you guys. I love the sport. I think Pete will appreciate the same. Maybe not as much, but the average fan won't even really care about how great of a choke that is because they don't even have any idea how difficult the level of that is. And I think a lot of that stuff gets lost with MMA, and that's the only issue you're going to have with the sport ever getting.
It's not even like it's a complex choke. Everyone could do it. It's just that it's so easily defended against, mainly. I think.
Yeah. Guy right in front, he postures up and he starts punching down.
Caught in that is more like the fucking why I'm wow. It's like, how did that guy get caught in that choke? But when somebody's really good at something and it's their go-to shit, you got to really be careful because they get it really easy. And it's like, before you can even defend it,
into it.
There. Yeah.
Exactly. You bait him.
But, that's why I respect Lozon. You heard him in the interview afterwards. He's like, his jiu-jitsu was really good. I went to all my go-to stuff, and he shut it all down. Talk about Joe Lozon and the Marcin Held fight where,
Joe Lozon won a decision. Joe Lozon won a decision, and, he even himself in the post-fight interview said he lost the fight. He doesn't understand why the judges did that. And then, Chris kind of been informing me the whole way through of this. He was watching it closer than me. And Chris, what did he say? Did he say something after Marcin Held?
They went into it was like footage afterwards in the locker room, and they were talking again, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I thought I knocked you out in the first." He's like, "You did, and you woke me up with the next shot." So like Marcin Held did get knocked out, but hearing those two guys talk after the fight, that shit was a class act, man. That was like, Lozon's one of my favorites.
Lozon's a good dude, man.
Well, he's a vet, and he's a vet, and he's been in a lot of wars, and he's been on the opposite side of wrongful decisions himself. So
him and Jim Miller, I think, was it? Him and Jim Miller are bloody as hell.
And what he says, because he's honest. When he thought he won, if he thinks he wins, he'll be honest about it. You know what I mean? So like, he's not. If there's a controversial decision that he's on the wrong end of, and he argues it, you at least got to give him credit because. You got to look at it and be like, wait.
I agree. No stubbornness.
I respect him for that, definitely. But the fight itself was a good fight. I mean, Lozon always delivers. But Marcin Held, he's definitely good, man. He's definitely someone to watch in the future for sure.
Yeah,
he's never going to get any fights, though. The UFC hates this kid, though. Let's talk about him for a second.
Why do you say that, Omar?
Yeah.
Why, is he black?
No.
Yo, honestly, that is fucking funny, yo. I gotta give you that, Pete. Good job. Yo, that shit was funny.
Well done.
Maybe I'm the only one who thinks it's that funny, but God, coming out of here with the Woodley comments, that was good, man.
Good grief. Jesus.
Oh, don't try too hard now, Pete. You made a good joke. Showmanship.
I don't want to just spend 15 minutes laughing. It was funny though.
Yeah,
whatever. I give you credit.
They're throwing them savages. They're throwing them savages though. In terms of he comes over from the other promotion, and then he's just getting these absolute monstrous fights
thrown to the wolves right away.
Yeah, I feel like another guy they would have given him some time.
Hey, he could shoot at the rankings then. If it's done right and they don't.
I'm like, give me these good guys because I beat these good guys because he's confident clearly, and he did dismantle Joe Lozon. And even though they gave him the L, I think that Dana White in the UFC is going to treat his next opponent as if he got a win. Dana. That's why I
almost.
I would say dismantle Joe Lozon though. I don't know.
It ain't dismantle him, but he controlled that fight.
Won the fight. I thought it was clear that he won the fight.
He did. Me too.
I'd have to watch
crazy about Joe Lozon.
And Joe Lozon,
the winner of the fight, even said it.
Joe Lozon's been in the UFC so long. He beat Jens Pulver before Jens Pulver and DJ Penn were coaches on the Ultimate Fighter.
But here's the thing.
That's crazy.
I just think that Lozon's a good benchmark. If you could hold your own against him or beat him, it shows that you're on your way, of becoming a contender.
It shows you're a good fighter, absolutely. Even Matt Serra said something on looking for a fight. Matt Serra said you could see the difference already in these two fighters' skills when they were watching bad fights, and all of a sudden two guys who knew what they were doing got in there. That's what you say. Lozon brings it.
He'll beat you. He'll finish you. He could finish you quick. He could surprise people.
Yeah, he's
got to be on your A game against him. I don't care who the fuck you are.
He's the
one professional.
Absolutely.
Was he ever on Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I believe
he was
he was.
on
All right,
Ultimate
okay.
Fighter with BJ and Jens.
And Jens,
that was,
right.
that was the,
you know what's crazy about that?
That was like the Joe Stevenson season, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
No, Joe Stevenson was Matt Hughes. In GSP, I believe.
Joe Stevenson, but the big thing with Joe Lozon was because BJ Penn picked him, the first fight that Lozon had, first guy was like, I want to get revenge for Jens because Joe Zolan. Wow.
Joe drunk bastard.
Joe Zolan?
Joe Lozon knocked Jens Pulver the fuck out after Jens had lost the belt.
Did he? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. One punch.
Yeah,
One punch is
yeah,
super quick, right?
Remember,
Tommy?
Knocked
Like
him
super
the fuck
quick.
out.
He killed him.
I gotta look that up.
Lozon's been in the game a very, very
He said,
long
go
time.
play WoW. He hit him, and he's like, go back to WoW. All right, get back out of this game.
Joe Lozon. There's some classic footage, Joe Lozon and Danny Lozon fighting in the backyard.
Yeah, that is classic. I'm a McGregor fan, so anything that happened in the UFC like pre-2013, I have no idea, you know.
We know. Right.
We know.
I'm just here for McGregor.
That's fine.
We've mentioned that a bunch of times before, Pete.
We appreciate your honesty. But isn't that backyard fight between the two brothers? Isn't that kind of what goes on like on the regular at your guys' house, Chris and Carl?
Let's be honest. For sure.
Yeah.
Really
much. It's
him trying to grab. It's him trying to grapple me. He ain't getting me down.
Oh, don't talk reckless right now and start acting like you can fucking beat me up or something.
Rogers, you know what I'm saying? He's like, come over here.
I'll give it to Chris. He's tough. He's a tough guy,
That's
but
all he needs.
I'm tough too.
All Carl
That's
needs
it, buddy.
is insure, and Chris, I think he'll take you.
I need my multivitamin.
Oh, no.
Hey man, I'm about to be 37.
Silver motherfucker, you.
I'm about to be 37. I'm about to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I said he's
Tommy,
a silver
Tommy,
motherfucker.
my friend. I don't know what fucking planet you're on.
All right, regardless. Either way you slice it, I know I'm going to win. So, I mean, speaking of Conor McGregor and everybody wanting to fight Conor, like Anderson Silva now comes out with a statement saying he wants to fight McGregor too. You know, I have this urge to test myself against him. I think he's a guy who has unusual ability. Like, doesn't this guy weigh 205? Like, doesn't he walk around with like 215? I don't understand how he could even consider or make a statement that he's going to get a McGregor fight. Like, it's so stupid to me. These guys call out this guy constantly. Like, think about being Conor McGregor. Think about how funny it probably is to hear everybody calling. Oh, of course. He's got that loud-ass laugh, which I love for some reason, probably because I love him. But, yeah, it's just it's so funny to me. He's probably sitting there cracking up.
Of course he would. They all would.
I'll make change your bum life as well.
Bum life.
If I was stuck fighting Derek Brunson to do the rest of my fights on my contract, I would also call out Conor McGregor super quick.
Yeah.
Get out of town. That is a horrible fight.
If you want me to pick you, you got to show me something. You got to make me pick you. Isn't that what he said?
There you
Worst
go.
case,
Wouldn't it be great if Derek Brunson knocks him out? Wouldn't it be great
That
if
would be
Brunson knocks him out?
insane. Oh,
I can't wait till Derek Brunson knocks out Conor and then Silva calls out Conor.
Oh no.
Yo, that's basically what we've been seeing since fucking, God knows. Like, that's what these fighters do.
Yeah. He's gonna knock Silva out and he's gonna say, "Oh, I want this little leprechaun. This little leprechaun has been talking."
Right. Oh my God. When who was it? I think it was Chad Mendez was doing that. He kept going like, "You're a leprechaun. You're a leprechaun." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's really funny. I've never heard that fucking joke before."
No, that was
McGregor.
like,
come on, guys.
Stevens. That was Jeremy
Oh yeah,
Stevens.
you're right. You're right. Yes, it was.
No, both of them did it. Yes.
I think it was.
Jeremy Stevens.
Both of them.
Yeah, but no, I think that was Mendez.
Ricardo Lamas with his Conrad McGillicuddy when he was literally making a fucking fool of himself making videos. Like, they were cringeworthy. Bad. I couldn't even watch them.
Ricardo Lamas fought like a pussy. Yeah,
Oh,
you ripped Ricardo Lamas.
Ricardo Lamas, he's
yeah.
a good guy. He's a good fighter too. I mean, a lot of these guys are on the cusp. They're on the verge of, making a run at the the division that they're in, of course.
They're gatekeepers. They'll never beat a guy like Conor or even fucking Max.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I'm not going to hold that against him. Shit, I mean, you're talking about the fucking best fighter in UFC right now. And, Max Holloway, of course, is a good guy, but, I'm not going to crown him yet. He's got to win the belt. But I don't know. I think that the UFC has guys on the verge of making runs at this. And, it's interesting to see what's gonna happen. Back when, just rewind maybe a year and a half ago when I was looking at the sport as a whole, I'm like, what's the next wave of fighters going to even look at? I do that with sports a lot, like baseball and football mostly. But it's interesting to see at least they have guys in place now. Like, granted some of them are international, some are American, of course, but, it's just something I enjoy because I don't want the sport to start, fading out of relevance. I mean, it's just sold for a lot of money, but that can change quickly.
Never.
And I'm hoping
there's too many guys that are just starting to train now that are going to be fighting. It's like this is brand new, bro. This is brand new. This is a cool thing to do.
What happened today? Did they have it was the Khabib and Ferguson press conference, or just what was that? I saw the stare down. It
was the 209 press conference. They were all there.
That happened today?
Woodley was there. Thompson was there.
Wait, when's 209 fight?
We're going to see this wave of TV appearances by all these guys tonight.
March 4th, right? So they got some time. I don't understand why they're even having this stuff yet. It seems a little early.
Well, they always do it.
Because that's what they do.
Pretty much on par with every other fucking card they've ever done.
Yeah.
That's why Conor didn't want to do it. There's no reason for them to do it right now. It's taken away from training.
Well, Conor was in Iceland training with a fucking $300,000 team that he just hired. He's training for a fucking fight, bro.
Oh God, shut the fuck up about it.
What are you talking about, you drunk son of a bitch?
Tommy hates hard.
It has nothing to do with that. I hate the press conference bullshit. You have it right before the fight. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
You're defending Conor.
You don't have it now.
The other day, Tommy was saying that Miesha Tate is garbage. He says she's not a legend.
He just doesn't like it.
MMA.
Well, that's wrong.
No, I don't think. I'm sorry. What makes her a legend? Tell me.
I explained it to you already.
It's more than
her rivalry with Ronda was what sparked general interest in female MMA to begin with.
If there was no fight between Miesha and Ronda, Dana White would have never brought women's MMA into UFC.
So that's great. Miesha Tate's arm getting broken makes her a legend.
So what?
Because she was a part of the fucking.
Absolutely.
She's been a UFC champion.
She was the champion that
she was the champion
that Ronda took the belt from.
She was Holly Holm out. She rear naked choked Holly Holm with 30 seconds left to go in the 5th round, bro. She's a fucking beast.
A fight that she was basically losing.
Right.
Give Miesha her fucking due, yo. She's a female fucking MMA legend, no doubt. And she's hot as hell.
I'm glad you think she's a legend. I don't.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Okay.
And she's hot, we always have to bring that up here. I mean,
and I want to smell her.
So well.
I want to wrestle her.
No.
Here's the thing with that. I respect women. I can't help but look at their looks. I have to say something. It's not disrespectful. Hey, whatever. She's pretty. She's hot. I love Miesha Tate.
You know who else is a legend? That 50-year-old Japanese lady that just got beat by fucking Gabby Garcia. She's a legend in Japan.
That's
oh my God! No. Come on, you can't.
Omar hates her so much.
I'll give it a cross. Come on, man. That's a bridge too far.
Yeah,
you can't compare those. One of them was an old congresswoman. It'd be like getting Ron Paul to fight, BJ Penn.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris is stoking the flames right now. I agree.
I'd rather, that than try to say that, she's that trash. I mean, I think she was just, it was one of those things where you were just in a bad spot. She's the Buffalo Bills of the women's division, except she won one. You know what I mean? She's always
she won two. Fuck that. She won two.
Yeah, she lasted.
She was a strikeforce champion too.
Well, yeah, if those things were belts, they're worth less than interim belts, for God's sake.
That was the pinnacle.
Speaking of interim belts,
MMA at the time, though. Women's MMA at
it
the time,
was, though. I get it. That was the UFC at that point, right?
Yeah, there was no women's division in the UFC, so that was the best women in the world fighting there. So when she was the champion,
the
she was the
pinnacle of
champion.
women's MMA back then was 20-cent wing day at Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay, on a rough
that's
day.
even more the reason.
That's
even more the reason for me to give her credit, because she was fighting when it was like, when they weren't making money, and they weren't getting fucking notoriety, but she was still doing it. So that's why she's.
And the first women's fight in the UFC was against Liz Carmouche, who actually almost finished Ronda. Misha never came fucking close.
That doesn't mean that she never came close. Legend.
I think Misha beats Ronda now. I think Misha beats Ronda now.
I don't know.
Wait, Liz Carmouche wasn't. That wasn't Misha's first fight in the UFC, was it?
That was Ronda's first. That was for the fight for the UFC.
Yeah, we jumped to Ronda, and he said that he was comparing the two fighters who fought.
He's just like discounts one person.
James Joyce.
He discounts one person
whatever
by naming someone else.
Whatever benefits his argument. Right.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's how you argue.
No, that's not. He's not.
Wrong. Tommy, I love you, Tommy. You're fucking nuts.
Tommy's a madman.
And this is still my boy. Don't worry about it.
Me and Omar love when Tommy gets riled up like this. I don't know why. It's fucking hilarious to me.
It's great. It's the best thing ever.
He seems to be well reserved other than that.
I stoked the Tommy.
Speaking of women's MMA, bro, I'm definitely stoked for this Shevchenko Pena fight, dude. That's gonna be fucking battle for women.
Not the title fight, though. Not the title fight.
Yeah, what about the title fight?
So not the upcoming.
What, the Holly Holmes? Yeah, we talked about Holmes.
Yeah.
You know, Pete feels that neither of them deserve the shot, so he's not going to talk about it because he hates them both right now for what they're getting. And I get he's got a point, but my thing is, it's a new division. All the old rankings and shit gets thrown out. You can't be like, oh, they were ranked here.
Pete's just mad because he could make that weight, and I think he wants the first crack at that title.
You little light in the ass little bitch.
Yeah.
130
Pete's
pounds.
just mad because Gabby Garcia's got a bigger dick than he does. I think that's
Oh my Lord. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Oh man.
You are friggin' in the crosshairs, my friend.
Yo.
That's on G-style.
That's fucking
You can't bring it on planes. You can't bring that thing on planes. It's a weapon. She's got to check it and bag it.
She's got to buy another seat for it.
Yeah, it's
basically.
Two tickets to paradise with Gabby and her.
It doesn't even matter with that Holly Holmes Durant fight because whoever wins that's going to be fighting Amanda Nunes anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying the shit out of me too, Amanda Nunes. Now, I want to go up and fight for 2 belt like Conor. Like why? Because Conor did it. Like all of a sudden,
everybody wants
first woman, that person that's going to be able to do that is going to be somebody that has star potential. It's going to be somebody that's making a shit ton of money for the UFC. Not anybody who's a champion is just going to be able to move up and fight it as another champion.
That's what everybody wants to do now.
Like
Amanda was on TV today, though. Amanda was on TV today. She's trying to cross borders. She was on I think the Today Show. No, the Kelly Ripa show in the morning. For real.
Good for her.
I think she was.
I'm proud of her.
Yeah. So
honestly, I'm glad. I want her to get marketed the right way.
A million pay-per-views.
Me too.
Because she was on Kelly Ripa, though. She's not even going to do 100.
No, we understand that, but dude, there was no media coverage.
You underestimate that demographic.
That's so
you
fucked
underestimate
up.
that demographic. Look what it did to
Cheyenne.
Right? That's a springboard. That's a springboard.
Well, look at it this way.
If I could get on that show,
the first openly gay women's champion. Do you know how many women fans she's going to have now that are probably going to buy her next pay-per-view?
And not for nothing, homosexuals are going to gravitate towards her.
Not many.
They have a lot of money. I know
Tommy's
that.
queer ass. Tommy's queer ass.
More than zero. More than zero, Chris.
You're wrong, Chris. I'm telling you, you're wrong.
I mean, the numbers will show. Like, how about? I mean, we'll see.
Let me ask you something. Let's have a discussion about this.
Yeah,
I agree.
Sure.
That's my point, Omar. If they do this the right way, why do you feel that she won't gain any fans or, pay-per-view buys from this, Chris? Like, what's the negative aspect that you're taking from it?
I'm just
Because
saying
Chris thinks drunk 20-year-olds and men on UFC.
Chris, not Tommy.
Oh, I can't interrupt him. I'm sorry.
He's the guy Francis of MMA.
Yes.
He's the guy Francis of MMA. He's thinking.
Tommy,
you motherfuckers
there's
are
the
racist
language barrier affects it. She's not going to be a superstar in the United States.
Language barrier? She speaks English.
Bro, I think she's definitely going to get a push now.
She does speak English, by the way.
It's
I
bad.
think she doesn't speak English well, but
She'll definitely get a push now.
She
She's Honda.
Language barrier. And I just don't think that she's a superstar. Like I don't think her pay-per-view numbers are going to sell. I don't think that's just it.
All right, so it has nothing to do with anything but her star ability.
For you to get
and her accent.
A chance for you to get a simultaneous champ, you have to have something else that you're bringing to the table besides just your ability to do it. Because there's been other people that have been able to do it before that Dana White has not given the opportunity. The opportunity lies in the numbers and the money. Like you have to prove that.
I don't think that was
beforehand, right?
No, 750,000.
I don't think that was Dana. I think somebody messed up. I think somebody really, really messed up on the marketing and thought that this was going to be it was like a preordained ending, and they really wanted because you know what? I agree with you, Chris. Yeah,
that's what Rogan was saying.
I agree with you. Chris. Like if Ronda had won, she did sell 1 million with no press. If she had won, the next one would have been 2 million, 3 million. It would have been great. WME would have made mad gravy money. But you know what? They really put all their eggs in one basket, and it backfired. I'm thinking a rags to riches story with a demographic bending champion in terms of you can market MMA to like gay people. What the hell? That's crazy. That hasn't been done. There's nobody to spearhead. You know what I'm saying? You want to get Mexican fans? You have Mexican fighters. You want to get black fans? You have black fighters. You want to get gay fans? You get gay fighters. Get the money wherever it's, the money's still green. So I think they really messed up by not doing it.
It can be.
Omar, you're 1,000%. You're 1,000% right, Omar. 1,000%.
Because in these groups actually we'll be like, look, we're not stupid. We're we know what you're trying to do. What you have a gay champion.
No, but you don't market her as gay. Don't market her as gay. Just market her.
Problem.
Fighting's personal, though. But Mexican fans are still going to be like, hey, Kane. Okay, I knew what they were doing with Kane. Kane can't speak a lick of Spanish. His Spanish is horrendous.
Yeah.
All right, I had better Spanish than Kane when I was hitting the head and I was 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible. His Spanish is
Chris about
horrendous.
this.
So I knew what they were trying to do, but you know what? I appreciated the effort still. And I'm not even Mexican. You know what I'm saying? If they had a Puerto Rican that was a New Yorican and could barely speak English, I would still be like, you know what? Mi gente, I'll watch. I'll throw.
I agree 100% that they should be any untapped money that's out there, they should try and tap into. I agree with that 100%, and they haven't. And that's the problem.
Oh God. Yeah. No, you're right, and they have.
Do you know how many more fans?
And I think they messed up.
Whether we agree on what her ceiling is in terms of marketability or not is irrelevant. They haven't tried to tap into it regardless of what it is.
They're not even trying to even get in the door, let alone reach the ceiling. Tommy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, but her going on Kelly Ripa was a good thing for her for marketing purposes because you know how many more fans Ronda got when she cried her eyes out on the fucking Ellen DeGeneres show? Like people that I know that didn't like her automatically liked her after that because they saw her human side. So that's really
I think it's
for her. For
I agree with you there. I agree with the human side. I agree with the human side of things, but there's levels and steps that you take to get to the A or B list celebrity. Like first of all, got to get your name out there. People have to become familiar with your name and face. Then once they do that, then they take interest to what your interests are and what your story is, your backstory or whatever. So at this point, Nunez just wants people to know who she is, and then once they know who she is, then they start following her. Then they find out, okay, she's the first openly gay champion, and then they go from there. Like, hey, I have I don't mean to be this simple, but hey, I have a friend who, is gay. Let's fucking both watch this together, and we could both appreciate what she's doing for that
litmus
specific
test was?
demographic.
You know what my litmus test for crossover is always the fact that, you know how I knew she was on Kelly Ripa? Obviously, I didn't TiVo it, guys. All right, calm down. My mom texted me. I was like, hey, yeah.
There you
my
go.
mom texted me. Hey, and she texted me. And she goes, it's Amanda Holmes. I'm like, Mom, I love you. It's probably Amanda Nunes. Is she dark and is she really having trouble with English? And she's like, yes and yes. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's Amanda Nunes. But that's my litmus test. If my mom knows who the hell you are, you're making inroads into that zeitgeist of, she knows who Conor is. She immediately knew who Conor is. You know what I mean?
No, right. I know.
That. You're
tapping into an untapped.
A household name, yeah, for sure.
So it's getting there.
And that's a good way to say it because,
sticking her on a Fox card, bro. Which is nothing wrong with it.
Wouldn't you rather Amanda Nunes and Liz Carmouche be the spearheads for the LGBT community than Caitlyn fucking Jenner? Come on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, but at the same time, it's not for me to decide. I'll tell you that.
Right.
That's true.
I don't want to sell Caitlyn Jenner short or whatever, but I just think
it's whoever wants
forcing yourself to change your gender is different than being gay. Like in my eyes. So
we all know you're waiting for the nudes to come out. We know. We know.
Oh my God.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course,
I'd rather
exactly.
drink, you son of a bitch. No. I love you guys so much.
I think that we should appoint.
Of course.
Listen. I think that we should appoint Tommy the LGBTQT representative for Pride Rules MMA.
BQT? Is this a road in New York? The BQT? What is LGBTQ? For God's sake.
LGBTQ community.
Oh God.
Now we're talking about the third person on the depth chart, the RB3. What?
Right.
Good guy.
Tommy is our gay delegate.
Have you guys? Right? Who cares? Okay. Have you guys been? Do you guys watch Dana White's Looking for a Fight? That little series on YouTube.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes. Because they have the new episode up. I think what's the only one episode into season 2.
Yes.
Well, it's a YouTube thing, so you can always watch it for free.
Yeah.
I know, but
how is Fight Pass, Tommy?
Tommy, why don't you give us your Fight Pass password, Dick?
Seriously?
Whoa, not on air.
I haven't stopped watching it.
Off air. Yeah.
I haven't stopped watching it since I got it. Honestly, I've already.
That's
watched,
how I would be. I'm dying to watch those old Ultimate Fighters.
I watched 3 or 4 seasons of that. I watched the Ultimate 200 Countdown. But the best thing that I watched was
Pride.
If you guys don't have it, you should get Fight Pass. But they
have it now.
Yeah, they have Mauricio Shogun Hua and Don Fry.
Damn.
Talking about
bro.
Talking about their tournaments. It was unbelievable. Absolutely.
Talking about what?
And Dan Severn too.
What were they talking about?
Their tournament wins. The tournament wins.
Their tournament wins. Yeah.
I think I've seen clips of these interviews.
Shogun was talking about the 2005 Grand Prix that he was in when he knocked out
everybody.
Oh my God! The guy that fucking Rampage body.
Ricardo Arona.
Arona, yeah.
Arona.
When he beat Arona after Arona beat Wanderlei.
Bro, that was Shogun's best.
After he beat who? Wanderlei Silva? Say Wanderlei.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about,
That was his
bro?
best. That was Shogun's best night of his life. Didn't he
it was.
That was the best night of anybody's life.
Overeem that night too.
I'll posit that. Exactly. I'll posit that as one of the best ones we've ever seen.
He beat Overeem, Arona. Yeah, he beat Alistair Overeem, Arona, and 2 other guys that night. Fucking amazing.
Yeah. But the Arona not beat up the Dorman because he just fucking beat up the Dorman.
He beat up the guy taking his jacket.
Exactly. He's like, I got something for you too. You can get it too. He just went nuts.
Think about fighting like that. Think about having a fight like 5 times in a night, dude. Like, you are fucking going to war that day. That's crazy. I mean, by the 3rd, 4th, and 5th fight, you're probably like, the butterflies are gone. But it's like, I gotta go back in there and fight. Like my hand hurts, like my foot hurts.
About those tournaments, dude, a lot of times there would be fresh fighters fighting in the later rounds because of injury.
There would be an alternate. Right, exactly. That's what I used to say all the time about the stupid UFCs. I'd be like, you're just gonna give it to an alternate in the fourth fight. He's gonna come in, win the fight, and then that's it. It's
Nogueira.
Didn't play well.
Guys, we were missing. He beat Little Nog as well that night. That's
it.
Damn,
I can't believe how late it is, huh?
Jesus.
Yeah, time flew today. I mean, we definitely banged through this podcast today. Pete, you had a lengthy segment today. You kind of kept quiet for a while. I thought you were off.
He's supposed to be a quick segment.
Omar, you got to cut him off after 15 minutes, dude. If he ain't saying that,
he chimes in. He chimes in.
It is.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, honestly, I thought he was going to talk more about McGregor Floyd. I really did.
He got juked on, Pete. He got squashed, B.
Every day.
He was basically on the podcast today. I appreciate it. I was trying to talk to him more than anybody else.
Let me tell you this.
Let's whoop his ass. Pete. Give him a question mark kick.
Now that you just mentioned that stupid fucking boxing match, Floyd's tweet today proved that fight is never going to fucking happen. Ever.
What the fuck are we talking about again?
No, honestly, I thought that's what we were going to kind of mention because, Pete's kind of stuck on it right now, which, I don't hate him for it. I just don't think it's going to happen. I really thought he would bring that up more.
I definitely think it's going to happen, but right now I'm stuck on the Chris Brown Soldier Boy boxing match.
Oh my God!
That's never happening. But Chris Brown was
happening like next weekend.
Yeah, no, that's
happening. Athletic. He's a good basketball player.
Soldier Boy's showing up to that shit, bro. He's gonna get his ass whooped if he shows up. Soldier Boy can't fucking throw him out.
I think he needs
one of them's being trained by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think he needs the money.
Chris Brown is trained by Mike Tyson.
And I think
Boy is actually getting deliveries of steroids from Rihanna. Rihanna's sending him packages of just all sorts of steroids. Being like, you got this, bro.
Well, did you guys see Soldier Boy shadow boxing? Did you guys see that?
Yo, what was that, dude? That was embarrassing. Holy shit! Like I honestly am better.
Yeah, B, you can't even fucking tell me that he's gonna show up to that fight.
He's making a lot of money. He's making a good money for that.
Fuck that. He's not showing up to that fight.
He's got it.
He makes CM Punk look like the middleweight champion of the world.
If Chris Brown could do Soldier Boy like he did Rihanna, he'll be in good shape, though.
Oh, man.
That's what I think it should be. It should be Rihanna versus Chris Brown in the middle of that ring. I think
Riri's revenge. The Riri revenge fight right there, just pow. And then she can make an album.
It should be a no rules MMA fight. She hits him with that forehead, it's over.
Oh no!
Yo, that's foul. You are foul.
All right,
he even hates on Rihanna. Damn.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Who's hating on Rihanna?
Chris, you got to run.
Her forehead looks like a drum.
Who's Brianna? Who's Brianna?
That's Brianna. That's Rihanna's hairstylist. Right there.
Her forehead looks like a fucking
yeah, that's so funny. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, and she's got some nice thighs, dude. Speaking of thighs.
With the thighs again.
Yeah. All right, so this weekend we got...
Right there. Thick.
Yo.
Thick.
The Grim.
The Grim.
Who you guys got?
The Grim
you got Omar. The Grim guys. I like the name of that. That's what we're going to use tomorrow. I'm going to use more often. Her thighs are grim, yo.
Oh.
All right, so
in honor of Brett Rogers.
Like the woman beater, the man beater.
Going all George Michael on us right there. Just he's going off the reservation on it. That didn't end well.
Awful.
For my man.
Awful.
Jesus. No.
At all. Omar, who do you got in Ortiz-Sonnen fight?
Sonnen by pretty much whatever he wants. I think Ortiz is held together by duct tape, anger, and Mexican supplements. We're gonna go with.
Dude, I wanted to talk about it a couple weeks ago. I wrote down a list of all of Tito's fucking injuries.
Anger and Mexican
yeah.
supplements. That's your best
that's
so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Well, he brings the ruckus. He brings it a lot. I appreciate it.
That's the fucking funniest shit I've heard.
Tommy, what do you got?
Well, after that little presser today, I think Tito's going to be coming swinging for the fences, and Sonnen's going to take him down, and he's definitely going to submit him. His ground game is way better than Tito's, which made me laugh. If you remember back in the old UFC, when they used to announce Tito, they used to call him he was a submission fighter. He had 2 submissions in the UFC. One of them was Ryan Bader, and one was very early on. So he's a great wrestler, but as far as submissions go, he's got no submission game. So I think
he got submitted by Cyborg, didn't he? He got submitted by Cyborg when they trained together. Like I think Cyborg was killing him.
Yes, absolutely. I did read that.
Real quick.
Liam submitted his ass. Liam submitted him.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, while we're talking about submissions, John Jones he's doing one of them grappling matches with fucking Luke Rockhold. They signed that for the submission underground.
Yeah,
really?
I think he beats Rockhold.
That's going to be a great submission grappling.
John Jones is the problem, John Jones is the fucking problem. Yeah. He's got it all. He's fucking focused on getting better and fighting.
I'm going to say this right now. I'm a John Jones fan, 100%, because all he cares about now is jiu-jitsu. What about you, Omar?
I'm super excited, and you know what's crazy to me? The biggest thing that this change does for me in my mind is if he actually sticks with it, the career longevity that he's going to get out of taking people down and submitting.
This might be the best thing for him because he's not going to get any mileage, but he's going to get so much better because he had time to work on so many different things. Like his jiu-jitsu.
John Jones getting better is scary. I'm scared of that prospect. John Jones
triangles.
Oh, his jiu-jitsu is gotten a lot better from what I've heard.
Exactly. Like, he submitted Belfort with a busted arm, right? And that was before he got serious about jiu-jitsu. So imagine, exactly, Tommy. He's going to bust out triangles from angles we've never even seen, thought of, or heard of. It's
kind of annoying because I really don't want John Jones to succeed, but he's gonna.
That's the thing. In spite of himself, he's going to succeed in spite of himself.
Why do you hate on John Jones? What the fuck?
I just don't like John Jones, bro. Like, why do I have to like him?
This is new to me. I'm surprised. I didn't know you didn't like him.
Pregnant women everywhere.
When did you not know I didn't like him? I've never liked him. I've liked John Jones for like the first day that he hit the scene, and then like right after the whole Rashad thing, I was like, man, this guy bothers me. He's fucking fake as fuck. Weird as hell.
He's fake, and he's definitely got personality issues and stuff, but
he's weird
I honestly
as fuck.
didn't know you hated him.
Where he's from. He's from
bro,
upstate.
You knew I didn't like him, bro. You knew I
swear to God. Got him. But, back to what we were talking about before. So you guys both think Sonnen's going to win?
Absolutely.
Tommy and Omar, right. Well, Tito said that, what's he got? His body was put through a meat grinder. ACL replacement of both knees. 50% of his meniscus removed in his right knee. Lower back fusion. C3, 4, and 7 are fused in his neck. 26 are spinal. I broke my back. Spinal. My back is broken. It's spinal. That's the greatest Mike Tyson name, dude.
I think Jenna Jameson sucked his soul right out of Tito, honestly. I don't think
27 concussions, an unlisted fractured eye orbital that he went through and dealt with. Like, he's dealt with so much injuries. Like, I don't know if he's going to make it through this fight, unscathed himself. Like, Sonnen might just grab him.
We can't just ignore that. Stop it. We can't ignore the bomb that Tommy just dropped right now. Did you catch that? For Lord in heaven.
No, what did he say? I didn't hear it.
He said,
that's because you were too busy talking.
Tommy. No, Tommy, say it again.
Sorry, was I talking on the podcast? You prick fuck. She sucked his
soul right out of Tito Ortiz. That's what she did.
Oh, my God.
She sucked his soul right out.
Fucking awful. Oh, my God.
Career was
over. She sucked his heart out, too. Just like this one right out.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. So, I agree.
Spine. Jesus.
I think it's a boring fight, 2 old fighters, whatever. But Sonnen's going to win by default. Chris, your opinion?
Yeah, same. Sonnen.
Pete, do you have an opinion on it? Do you have any difference?
Definitely Chael, I'm going with.
Yeah.
They're both going to be up, too. Let's not forget.
Right. They're both going to be raring to go and all.
Yo, I'm more excited about the Paul Daly and, Brennan Ward?
Yo.
Yeah, that's going to be a good fight, man.
I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about it, but whatever.
I mean, like, fuck.
So,
I'm talking about I don't know why they're like. That's the more exciting fight. That's the one that has more implications.
It's namesake right now. They're just trying to sell it because of the name.
Fuck out of here, bro. Like that's
it's recognizable, bro.
We all know it.
Coca-Cola doesn't have to spend another cent on marketing. No one's selling anybody on Coca-Cola, but they just put it out there so you see the name.
Is anybody excited to see that fight? I'm excited to see Paul Daly and Brennan Ward fight.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
excited to see Chael fight because I like Chael. You know,
I agree, though, but honestly, if you're driving down the street, if you're driving down the street and you see a billboard and it's got Chael Sonnen and Tito Ortiz's face up there and you don't know about the fight game and what's going on this weekend, you're going to take notice and be like, oh, shit, who is that? Or when they fighting? I know those guys. But if you're driving, you know, just anybody, and you're fucking, you might not know who Paul Daly is, you know, by face. I do, but, you know, the regular Joe Schmo might not, and then they might just drive right past it. The point is, people will recognize their faces and names and might tune in because of it.
Of course. But I'm talking about what we are is we should see through that, and we know that the real fight is the other one.
Yes.
You know, like this
Chris is all about conspiracies. Chris is the Eddie Bravo of this podcast. He's like, yo, you should see through that. We shouldn't, you know, if they're going to market to these people, they're going to see through that facade. And they're going to know that it's all conspiracy.
Power 7, by the way.
It goes along with our name.
Ask him about Pizzagate. Is what I want to know.
Okay,
Does he know about Pizzagate?
You guys are fucking nuts. All right, but I hate this part of the show. I really, honestly hate the end of our show so much because it's going to be a whole week until we talk. But there is a little bit of a change. Omar, you have to what? We got to record on Wednesday next week because you have a new schedule for work coming up. Is that going forward? So I know your schedule sucks, so we're going to record on Wednesdays from now on.
You're the man. Thank you. Yeah, but that's going forward until cool. I can let them, let me go on days or, impersonate
works,
somebody.
Brother. Any day that works.
Thank you, guys.
I'm excited for it because now we get to record 6 days from now, not 7. So that's great. We'll be back at it a day earlier. So I'm super for that.
It's all up to me, bro.
Hope everything works out for you for the better, obviously. What's up, Tom?
I'm trying.
Next week we got my teammate and buddy Mike Elshamy coming on to talk about his fight coming up in February for Ring of Combat.
All right, so we're gonna have somebody coming on. Perfect. We will tease that.
Yes, we are.
Look on the website or on our Facebook page and Instagram. So all our social media will probably have some type of plug for next week's show. But again, make sure you join all our social media. I'm not going to mention it again. Go back to the beginning of the show if you want to listen to it and get the names. Basically, just search to it at Winning Pride Rules, and you'll find everywhere. But guys, great show again. I really enjoyed it as usual. Talked about a lot of nonsense.
Win the NFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl.
Most exciting week for the football season. Most exciting week in football this week.
Yeah, this shit fucking got me on tilt.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Matt Ryan will work for.
Matt Ryan's a savage, but so is Rodgers. So whatever.
I'm hoping Julio Jones' toe is really, really, really injured.
Yo, you see, Future bought his son a Falcons jersey and sent it to Sierra's house.
Yeah.
Savage.
Of course he did. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's like petty wop shit.
Love it.
It really is.
Future's the man.
But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in. Make sure you tune in next week on Wednesday. We'll have the link posted. We'll get all our information out there for all you guys. For Chris, for Tommy, for Omar, for Drunk Uncle Pete, on the straw that serves you drinks. Carl the Knuckle Tape C. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.
Peace.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Stockton, motherfucker.
209, biatch.
Yeah, right.
Yet another good show, though. I'm happy with this.